What if Arsenal women are no longer just title contenders? What if they are actually the team to beat in the Women's Super League this season? Because after one of the most interesting transfer windows in the WSL, Arsenal have completely reshaped their squad. Georgia Stanway, Ona Batlle, Misa Rodríguez, Selina Cerci, Géraldine Reuteler, Lisa Baum, Isabella Dam. That is a serious list of new talent. But here's the big question. Did Arsenal sign enough quality to finally win the WSL title? Or will Chelsea and Manchester City once again find a way to stop them? And what about London City Lionesses, who have also made some absolutely massive signings? Today, we're going to break it all down. And honestly, I believe Arsenal should be the favorites. Let's start with the biggest reason why I believe Arsenal have a real chance of winning the league. Experience. Arsenal already knew the WSL. They already knew what it takes to compete for trophies. They already had players who understand the pressure of playing at the Emirates, playing Champions League football, and fighting Chelsea and Manchester City throughout an entire season. And now they've added even more experience. Take Georgia Stanway, for example. She isn't coming to Arsenal to learn what winning looks like. She has played at the highest level in England and Germany and arrives with a winning mentality. And that's exactly what Arsenal need. Because sometimes the difference between finishing second and winning the league isn't talent, it's mentality. It's knowing how to win those difficult games in January. It's knowing how to survive a bad run. It's knowing how to perform when the pressure becomes enormous in April and May. And Arsenal have added players who understand that pressure. Then you have Ona Batlle. And I think this signing could be massive. Ona already knows Arsenal's level. She knows elite football. She has experience at Manchester United and Barcelona. And she has played in some of the biggest matches in European women's football. So Arsenal aren't bringing in a player who needs years to understand the demands of top-level football. She can contribute immediately. And tactically, her versatility is extremely valuable. She can play on the right, she can play on the left. She gives Renee Slagers another option when injuries happen or when Arsenal need to change the system. And let's be honest, in a long WSL season, squad depth is everything. You don't win this league with 11 players, you win it with 18, 20, sometimes 22 players contributing throughout the season. Then there is Misa Rodríguez. The Spanish international goalkeeper joined Arsenal after leaving Real Madrid. And this could become another extremely important addition. Because when you're trying to win a league title, you need reliability at the back. You need a goalkeeper who can save you points. Think about those matches where Arsenal dominate for 90 minutes but only win 1-0. Or those games where the opposition gets one big opportunity late in the match. That's where a goalkeeper can make the difference between 3 points and 1 point. Misa brings international experience and Champions League experience. And Arsenal now have another elite level option between the posts. That is exactly the type of signing you expect from a club that wants to win the league. But Arsenal didn't stop with defensive reinforcements. They also attacked the market. Selina Cerci is particularly interesting. She arrives from Hoffenheim with a reputation for goals, physicality, and attacking intent. And Arsenal needed more options in attack, because one of the biggest challenges in the WSL is consistency. You can score 4 goals against one team, and then struggle to break down another opponent sitting deep. That's why having different types of attackers is so important. Cerci gives Arsenal another profile. More physicality, more directness, more competition for places, and competition is healthy. Because when every player knows that someone is waiting behind them, the intensity in training increases. Now, let's be realistic. Arsenal's transfer window looks excellent, but that doesn't automatically mean they will win the WSL. Because Arsenal also lost important players. Beth Mead, Katie McCabe, Victoria Pelova, Laya Codina, Manuela Zinsberger, and several others have left the club. So this isn't simply a case of Arsenal adding 7 players to the same squad. They are rebuilding, and that creates a problem. Chemistry, football isn't played on paper. You can sign 7 incredible players, but if they don't understand each other, the team can struggle. That's why the first few months of the season could be extremely important. How quickly will Stanway adapt to Arsenal's system? How quickly will Batlle build chemistry with the defense? How will Misa communicate with her new defenders? And how will Slagers balance all these different profiles? These are the questions Arsenal have to answer. Now, I know some of you are going to say, wait, London City Lionesses also had an incredible transfer window. And you're absolutely right. London City have made some huge statements. The biggest one, Alexia Putellas, 2-time Ballon d'Or winner, a Barcelona legend, a player with an incredible amount of experience, and she isn't the only big addition. London City clearly want to move from being a mid-table team to becoming a serious challenger. So yes, I absolutely respect what they are building, but there is one major difference between Arsenal and London City. Experience in the WSL. London City are entering a completely different phase. They have new players, a new look squad, new expectations, and for many of those players, adapting to each other will take time. You can bring together incredible footballers, but building a championship winning team doesn't happen overnight. Arsenal don't have that same problem to the same degree. They already know the league, they know the opponents, and they know the pressure, they know what it means to play Chelsea, they know what it means to play Manchester City, and they have already been fighting for the WSL title for years. That experience matters. And then we have Chelsea. For years, Chelsea were the standard in English women's football, but this season feels different. Chelsea have also gone through major changes, several important players have left, and Sonia Bonpastor is continuing to reshape the team. They remain incredibly dangerous. Let's not get that twisted. Chelsea are still Chelsea, but I don't think Arsenal should be afraid of them. I think Arsenal should look at Chelsea and think, this is our opportunity. And then there is Manchester City. City have quality everywhere. They have experience. They have attacking talent. They have players capable of deciding games on their own. But again, Arsenal have something very important: continuity and experience in the WSL title race. This could become a three-way battle. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, and maybe London City Lionesses surprise everybody. Now let's answer the question. Arsenal's new signings, title winners or not? My answer? Yes, Arsenal should be considered the favorites, not because they have the best player in every position, not because Chelsea are weak, not because Manchester City are finished, and definitely not because London City cannot surprise everyone, but because Arsenal have created something very interesting. They have combined experience plus quality plus depth plus WSL, knowledge plus ambition. And that's a dangerous combination. The club itself has made it clear that winning the league is the objective. The players have spoken about wanting to win the league. And after finishing second last season, Arsenal know exactly what went wrong. Now they have another chance. However, there is one thing we cannot forget. Football doesn't always follow logic. You can have the best squad and still lose the title. You can have the best transfer window and still finish second. One injury can change everything. One bad month can change everything. One unexpected defeat against a lower ranked team can completely change the title race. And that's why Arsenal cannot become complacent. They have to work. They have to build chemistry. They have to stay healthy. They have to manage the Champions League. They have to perform against Chelsea and Manchester City. And most importantly, they have to be consistent. Because winning the WSL isn't about being brilliant for 5 games. It's about being excellent for an entire season. So if you ask me today, who is my favorite to win the WSL? I'm putting Arsenal at the top. Chelsea will challenge. Manchester City will challenge. London City Lionesses could be the surprise package. But Arsenal, they have everything they need. The experience, the quality, the depth, the ambition, and now some serious new signings. Georgia Stanway could bring the mentality. Ona Batlle could bring versatility. Misa Rodríguez could bring security. Selina Cerci could bring more attacking power, and the young players could provide the energy. Now it's up to Renee Slagers and her players, because the transfer window is over. The excuses are over. The rebuilding phase is over. Now comes the hard part, winning the WSL. And if Arsenal get this season right, I genuinely believe the title could finally return to North London. But what do you think? Are Arsenal the favorites to win the WSL this season? Or do you still believe Chelsea, Manchester City, or even London City Lionesses can stop them? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because this WSL season could be absolutely crazy.